Hi, this is Becky. We'll give everybody a minute to jump in. Everyone, I'm Becky Byrne, and I'm the owner of Crafting My Chaos. Oh wait, what am I thinking? Y'all aren't here with me. I don't need this. But if you need a mask, check out my website because I have plenty of colors to choose from, and those are only $5 a piece. So I wanted to say hello to everyone. I'm so happy to be here. This is my first time ever doing a virtual show. So please forgive me, I'm probably going to have a few hiccups. I wanted to let you all know that we have behind us here in the middle are our kits that we have on our website. We have 12 different kits, and most of them are represented here in the middle. But you can also check them out on craftingmychaos.com. And up at the top left corner there is a link for yarn kits, and that's where you will find them. This one here is a sample that I did from the Birthday Cake Electric Blue yarn kit. And it's the Hugshot Shawl pattern from Casapinka. It hasn't been blocked, so sorry about that. And if any of you are on here already know me, you know that I am absolutely known for not weaving in my ends. And there you go, as always. That kit is right here with this colorway. And then there is another one that is also represented in the kits. This is a pattern that I made myself. It's called My Happy Place Shawl. It is cornucopia and golden, and that is this grouping right here up at the top. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions or if you would like to see any of the colorways up close. I have a couple of samples to show you, and then what we're going to do is move these out of the way and switch over to the DK and the self-striping, and then you'll be able to see our project bags. Let me get that out of the way. This selection over here represents our variegated yarns. Some of them are in a tie-dyed version. Some of them are in a immersion type dyeing. Some of them are painted. So there's various different techniques that you'll see here, and those are also represented in the kits. Like for instance, this one is a speckle yarn. This one's called Potluck. This one is called Fiesta, and it is a tie-dye yarn. So you're going to see a lot of different variation throughout the yarn. That's not going to be just the colors that I put into the dye pot. It's going to blend and make new colors when that happens. This one is one of the favorites called River Rocks, and it pairs very well with a turquoise type color and or a brown like we have here. And then we have some more speckled ones down as you go down. And you'll see these on the website. They're, like I said, they're in the yarn kits category. This one right here is called Holiday Lights. And what I think is interesting about this yarn is the way that it was dyed. I started at one end of the yarn cake with one sock and the opposite end with the second sock. These are the same skein of yarn, but look how they came out so differently. And as you get closer to the top, that's closer to the middle of the ball of yarn, they start to match, but the feet are very different. Kind of neat effect, especially if you don't necessarily want all of your socks to match, or if you want something that goes from one color to the other in your shawl, sweater, what have you. Over here on the left, no, my right, it might be your left, I'm not sure, are the tonals. And as you can tell, we have quite a few of those to choose from. And then down here at the bottom, starting at this section, is our speckles. And they go all the way to the bottom. I am not able to see comments, so I'm not sure if there are any. Maybe. Nope. I'm not sure how to see comments. If I don't answer your question, I will try to get it. So Amber, you said the tie-dye yarn. This is one here, and the yarn starts out looking like this. So you see there's some white, and then there's some various different colors in there. But the reason that this, the effect that you get is it's not going to be the exact same color combination all the way through from beginning to end. Oh, thank you very much. I did find a way to, I have to keep refreshing the screen, so if I don't get to your comment right away, I apologize. Here's another sample. This is one, and I took the cards away. This one is called the Joseph Shawl. It is 2 tonals, but you could put anything you want together. It's going to be 200 grams of yarn. And basically what I did, I think this is the 3rd size in the pattern. The pattern was designed by Dawn Ortega of Dawn O Designs. And I basically went until I almost ran out of yarn, and then I started on the border. The border is knit where you bind off 1 stitch at a time. So you don't have this giant 400 stitches to bind off all at once. This one is called Herbarium. It's by Lisa Haynes. It's a nice little mosaic detail here in the middle. Also, if you've ever been around me before at any shows or trunk shows, you'll know I usually take the pattern and keep going until I run out of yarn. So almost everything that you see here will have a little bit more added to it than what the pattern calls for, because I don't like to have scraps left over at the end. Okay, so here is another one of our variegates. This one is going to actually give you the same colors in the same group order all the time. So as you can see here, you're going to end up with some pooling, depending on what type of a pattern you do. This particular one, it starts out small and gets larger, so the pooling is not going to be the same all the way through the pattern. But if you were to do a pair of socks or a sleeve, something where it's the same circumference all the way around, or something that's on the bias or rectangle shape, then your pooling would be all the way through in the same spots. This particular yarn right here is called Merlot Mystery, and it's this one right here. I know the white doesn't show up real good, so I'm going to try to cover that up. But that's that yarn. And this is a 1 skein project. It's called Gold Dust. And it is, I don't have the tag. It is It's a free pattern on Ravelry, but I can't remember right at the moment who the designer is. You might have noticed down here at the bottom, we have some of our project bags. And we have quilted project bags. And what they do, I'll grab both of these so you can kind of see them up close. They're quilted with the machine. I'm not sure if that's going to show up. Maybe that one you can see a little bit. So they're thick as far as the fabric is concerned. There's batting inside. They all have pockets. I will take the extra air out before I send you yours. And they all have 2 pockets on the inside and yarn seat belts. So if you're doing color work or you're doing 2 at a time socks, pop your yarn into those seat belts. It just snaps open and then close it up, and you will not get yarn tangled up inside of your bag. This particular size is what I call small, and I can actually fit a 200 gram project in the small bag. So you could fit a few things. You're getting ready to go to knit night and you want to take this project with you. You could even put your wallet in the bottom, maybe your keys, your reader glasses, because some of us have to have those to be able to see anything these days. This is another one we did that's Texas Wildflowers. And we're getting ready to start our 31 days of new bags that we did last year in August. So what you'll see is on Instagram, it should have started today, but it's probably actually going to be held over till September. What you'll see is every single day a new bag design is going to be released. And normally when I do that, I will release at least one of each size that we offer. And we have a couple of new styles that are coming out as well. Let me refresh here. See if there are any. I hope I don't sound like I'm yelling at y'all. I'm trying not to be very quiet so you can hear. Thanks, Jazz. And thanks, Dana. Okay, here's another sample. These 2 are some of our tonals. And you can see there's a little bit of lace work in there. This one has a lot of lace work in there. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce the name of this pattern. Oh, and you're going to have to look at it in the mirror to see what it is too. But if you want to, I can message you later if you're interested in what that pattern, how to find it. This one's called I Smell Snow. Super fun. And like I said, I always do my socks toe up. That way, I don't play yarn chicken with the toes. The first time I did socks, I was playing yarn chicken with the toes and I was so scared. So now, I just go until, and I've kind of learned how much I need to do a cuff. I go until I get to the point where I need to do the cuff. And it's definitely going to fit my foot because that was the first part I did. This one is, as probably some of y'all have recognized by now, Girl from the Grocery Store by Joey Locatelli. It's also a 200 gram project. This is Ginger Snaps and Tequila Sunrise. Very fallish, but also your Bright Sunset is in here as well. So if orange is your jam, this might be a color combination for you. It's time for me to move to the next section, so if you'll give me just a second, we're going to reset these shelves. Y'all would be laughing at me. I have blue tape all over the floor in my room here so that I can tell where the shelves have to stop before they go off the screen. I might want to just move that out of the way. So here we've got a bigger selection of bags. Again, every bag that we have in stock right now is available on our website. So if you are looking for a specific design, a specific kind of color combination, and you don't see it here, I can try to find it in the bag below because I've got the extra stock next to me, or check it out on the website and see if that particular color combination is already there. Or you can also send me an email or instant message on Facebook, Instagram, and let me know what you're looking for. And I'll see, A, if we have it, B, if it is planned for the updates that's coming up in September, or C, if I need to go shopping for fabric, because that is, my husband will tell you, one of my favorite things to do. Now, before we talk too much about the yarn, I have to show y'all this. Are these sloths not the cutest thing you've ever seen? You cannot help but smile every time you see one of these sloths. And that's one of our recent additions. So if you need a sloth in your life, and I think everybody pretty much does, let me know. I can hook you up. The yarn that we have now on this rack, on the left hand side, is our DK weight yarn. And they're all in tonals because DK is something pretty new for me. But as you can see, I hit the ground running and immediately created a sweater. This one is, I believe it's called the Casita, but again, if you're interested in it, I will message you the link for the pattern. This particular pattern is really cool. It has a little, I call it air conditioning section on the right hand side and the left hand side, but it only calls for this section to be on one side. Well, me being a little bit fluffy and living in Texas, I don't know if y'all have been paying attention, but it was 104 the other day. I put the air conditioning section on both sides. That way you have, plus I have a little touch of OCD. It's symmetrical. You've got more airflow, and your design is, they'll see it coming and going. Then we also have micro stripes down here at the bottom. This is one of the yarns that has been super popular. Tie-dye party. And as you can see, this one will also pull depending on the placement. This section here in the middle didn't pull so much, but it created nice stripes. And then you get down here, and it created this big giant holes. I don't know how they did it, but I love it, and probably if I tried it again, couldn't recreate it. But I've seen several people choose the micro stripes and do this particular pattern, which is called Blue Jean Saturday by Debbie Lake. Again, if you want to check out my Ravelry account, all of these are loaded in there so you can tell exactly how much yardage I used, if it was a free pattern, if it was a paid pattern, what the different details are. But if you wanted to use one of these micro stripes to make a pair of socks, and some of you have seen me before, you've seen this sample. This is how they turn out. This is 64 stitches around. Now this was when I was really new to knitting and I used a 1.5, but to get the same gauge I use a 0 now. So depending on your gauge, that's what you're going to get. And this one right here is the one that's in this shawl. You can see you get a very different look based on the different type of project. You could do a sweater where you do the micro stripe as the sleeves and add some pizzazz to your pattern. I had one of my customers, her daughter absolutely fell in love with the yarn and asked for her to make leg warmers. She's a little gymnast, so it was perfect for her. These are the self-striping up here at the top. And we've got quite a few different colorways in those too. Some fall, some spring, some summer, some wintry looking even. And we have some more that are going to be coming out soon that will be... Can you please show the shawl I made using... Yes, you can, Josh. Absolutely. Please share that picture with us. Yes, blocking tape is absolutely how you have to do everything. Otherwise, you're going to be rearranging things 500 ways. And again, we've got some more project bags here. Let's look at this one. Hopefully this one will show up. Sometimes the lighter colors don't show up as well. Charlie Brown. My husband says this one reminds him of sheets that he had when he was a little boy. Definitely a vintage look. And as you can tell here, this is the medium and this is the small. Now we have another size that is even smaller than that, but those I call notions bags. And they're a lot smaller. But let me tell you, they are not small on space. When you put all your stuff in there, it is full. And it's got a wide base so that when you set it down on the table to do your project, it doesn't flop over and everything falls out. I try to, with my bags, take everything that irritates me about the way that I work and fix the bag so it won't let that happen. It is that what makes all of these still a work in progress, but that's where some of the little details have come from. I'm refreshing again because for some reason I can't see your comments when they happen. Oh, Josh, thank you so much. That makes my heart just feel so warm. Thank you. Is there anything that anybody would like to see close up? Actually, I can show you the new bag design that we have. Just 1 second. I showed this on Instagram not too long ago. It is almost the same size as the small, but it has a little loop here. And the reason that this bag was created, again, is because I try to put in the things that irritate me or customers have asked for solutions on. And some of my customers have asked for bags without a zipper. Now, the way I handle the zipper when I'm knitting is I will take the bag, and I learned this on another podcast, is fold the top down. And that's how I knit out of it. And it creates like a yarn bowl. So it just sits on the table, and my yarn pops out of the top, and I go to town. And it's not knitting, crocheting, whatever it is you're doing, or, you know, even weaving. This one, they wanted something without a zipper. So I created like a knot bag. I think it's kind of like Japanese knot, but not exactly. And one of the things that's different about this one is there are gobs and gobs and gobs of pockets. So there's a good sized pocket there. There's a good sized pocket here and here. But when you get to the other side, I wanted to create some pockets that would be good to hold your needles. So if you need a place to put your extra needles because you're going to be going out to a project, going to a retreat or something, and you want to just carry extra things or pens or whatever, these skinny pockets hold more narrow items. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pockets on this side and 3 on the other side. Now, you don't get seatbelts with this one, but you probably don't need them with this type of setup. Now, I can't show you what I'm doing with these little balls because, as Allie mentioned earlier, I'm designing the patterns for her Christmas kit. This is the beginning one, but don't tell her I showed it to you. Those will be, the patterns are, the kits are already released, but you'll be getting teaser photos as the time goes along to get everyone excited about what's coming next. What have I missed? Hats. One of the things that I have gotten so much super cool feedback about is some of these hats. This is called, and I'm short, checker work, and the designer is Vexy. One of the things that is so cool about this, besides the design that it creates on the side, is it kind of forms into a starburst in the middle of the crown. Isn't that a cool effect? With my self-stripe, and this will work with any self-striping yarn, but with my self-striping yarn, you can get 2 hats out of 1 skein, because each of these hats is roughly 40 grams. Then I went ahead and tried my hand at the sockhead hat, which has got like a mile of ribbing, but it looks really cool. And then, like I said, I don't like to have extra yarn, so I just kept on going, and it creates a really nice slouchy hat. And this is also one of our newer self-striping combinations or colorways. This one is called Sock Hop. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the 50s with the little poodle skirts. And then we have 2 more up here, which you can see. There's another one called Swirl. It's a free pattern. Checker work is only $1. And they give, you can't tell. One of them is one and one of them is the other. You really cannot tell which one is which. But they give the same design effect. But you can see, depending on the way the yarn stripes, because this one has alternating stripes. Thick, thin, thick, thin, thick, thin. This one, they're all the same. So you can kind of see, depending on how the stripes are, the type of effect that you're going to get from the item that, with the item that you knit. Some of my favorite color combinations. My absolute favorite and most popular yarn colorway is always Steampunk. Steampunk I have made in Speckle, I've made it in Variegated, I have made it in self-striping, but the very first colorway that I ever created was Variegated. It has so many earth tones, and then it's got that hard steel element to it. There's some blue, some rust brown in there. This would be good with white pants. This would be good with jeans. This would be good to dress up something that's just really plain. Good for the winter time, good for the summertime, good for almost any complexion, because you've got cool colors and warm colors both mixed in here. This has been, it was luckily my very first colorway, and has been my most popular color combination of all time. Here it is in self-striping. You can kind of see those colors a little bit more defined. We have 1 minute and 26 seconds left. I'm going to check one more time and see if there's any other questions. I'm also kind of partial to the purples. And again, we have multiple of the microstriping. That same color combination that you saw with the grays, we also have with a blue base. We also have it with a purple base. That one's called Purple Party. And then again, you can see all the different bags. So hit me up on Facebook. Send me a message on Instagram. please hit like on both of them. Follow us on both of them. We'll post things as new stuff comes up. You'll get to see what's going to happen in September with all of the new bags that are going to come out. We had a huge outpouring of participation with that promo last year, and it's like the anticipation builds up every day. Is Becky going to get the pictures done on time? We'll see. And let me know what you think. If you need a special colorway, if you need something different in your life that you haven't been able to find, if you need a fancy bag, let me know. Otherwise, if you've already bought Crafting My Chaos yarn, please share with me your projects. I absolutely love to see customer creations. And that is the end of our time. So I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining in, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend.